All right, all right, all right. Should I should I put this book away? Hello, everybody. Here I am on Book Club Island number one, and today is the last walkthrough of the Book Island Archipelago. And actually, I decided because I do have to go at the top of the next hour to deal with some real life stuff, that I will split it up. We have four islands, four book club islands, and so every day I'm going to go through all the locations and one island per day, basically. So the book club, as you may know or not know, started in April 2020, and this is the first venue, which is basically one of those premium, I don't know, business ready sims that Linden Lab has ready to go. And oh, here's Dex Euromat. Welcome, Euromat, Euromate. Um, so we started humbly with this. It's a little dark out here. Let's turn on the light. So many books, so little time. This is attributed to Frank Zappa. I actually don't know if that's correct. Um, but yeah, we just had this island, and Linen Lab asked me if I wanted to do a book club, book discussion group with authors in Second Life. I had done a few in Sansar, the short-lived next generation virtual world. I've done a few with Matt Ruff of Lovecraft Country, with Ken Liu. Here's Matt Ruff, Lovecraft Country, soon to be an HBO series, and he was in fact the first guest. The first show was with four guests, two men, two women, and it was really awesome. And it was just this hall here, and it was pretty full. And then we started to get crazy ambitious. Not right away. Not right away. There's a whole bunch of shows in this room. But when we started to get ambitious, and Dex, you may follow me, of course. Uh, there was a whole long time, several years, where and by we I mean me supervising and other people sweating to fulfill sort of the vision that I put forth and the author put forth about a venue that suits their book, um, thematically, or that suits their body of work. Sometimes the book, a specific book, sometimes the entire oeuvre. So you know what? Let's go to this one here. A river, a river called time. And let's see what's the shortcut here. I'm on the official viewer, so I don't know if there's actually a shortcut. I'm gonna do midnight. This was also early on. This was a show with the author Courttia Newland, a British author who also wrote for television, who did a series, and the name escapes me, of course, because I don't watch television. It was a fantastic series directed by Steve McQueen. Courttia Newland wrote a book called A River Called Time. And we built this thing here, and I'm going to list all the people that were involved with building, because if I name just a few of them right now, I'm going to forget others, and that sucks. So this whole desert environment here, and then the book, A River Called Time, was about a city in the future that was basically sort of peak gated community, and only the people who lived in that city were able to kind of advance professionally. Um, and then the main protagonist in that book, River Called Time, which I highly recommend, is still one of my favorite, maybe 20 novels of all time, I would say. The protagonist then sort of leaves his body, goes into the astral plane, and goes into a parallel reality where he all of a sudden sees he sees beyond this um, privilege of living in this gated community, and he sees all the plight that is caused by separating working people, poor people, from the people upstairs, so to speak. See, so what we built here is sort of an upstairs where people sit comfortably, but you can peek through, you can look underneath, and underneath there's these, you know, projects. I know they look kind of fancy actually, but there's also garbage. Um, there are sort of these market stalls where peasants sell their wares. I actually had to thin this out because we were running out of prims. And, you know, these kind of like row houses where workers lived, garbage floating in the air, smokestacks, stuff like that. I forgot what the reference to these newspapers were, but basically, this is a fantastic novel, Courtier Newland. Um, the protagonist again going into this parallel reality and seeing that his life, the privileged life in that gated community, is only one option. Could have been another option. And actually, in the parallel life, I don't want to give too much away. He's kind of a revolutionary, fighting against the oligarchy. It's a fantastic book, River Called Time, Courtier Newland. Now you might wonder if you're watching this, okay, I'm talking about Courtier Newland, but this dude here is his name is Charles Yu. Charles Yu, also friend of the show. So we repurposed um, certain venues. I just was just mentioning that we were overly ambitious and drove ourselves crazy with building a new venue every week, but that's not true. Not every week. I would say most weeks, and then some people were on vacation or not available, and so we had to repurpose. So this was repurposed for an appearance of Charles Yu. Charles Yu was on the show a couple of times. He's of course the author of also one of my favorite novels, How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe. Here it is. Oh, this is a German translation. Very good translation. Handbuch für Zeitreisende. Original title, How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe. Here it is. Charles Yu is famous in the popular imagination for being head writer on Westworld TV show, and also now I think he's the showrunner of Interior Chinatown. Also things that I've never seen and watched because I don't watch TV, but I love Charles Yu, and Charles Yu loves me, or he loves the show. He loves coming on the show. Um, so yeah, this is an example where we repurposed this venue, which is cool logistically. But what was always a bummer is that the decoration, of course, changed, right? So when people visit this, well, they can't be visiting anymore because Linden Lab's going to take it down on Friday. They would go in here and they would sort of get a mashup between the original purpose of this venue, which was A River Called Time, and then the repurpose of the venue, which was Charles Yu's appearance, where I just basically pasted funny excerpts of his short stories here. So, for example, this one. This is kind of a parody of like sitcoms. On screen, thin, well dressed rich people mutter ambiguously hurtful things to each other. He, something about the limits of language. She, that's always been true. He, something about the nature of distance. She, what do you want from me? He, something about the unknowability of the human heart, brain, soul. She sobs. He sobs. She, something about his family, his nose. So um, this is actually from Charles's first short story collection called Third Class Superhero, which I very much enjoyed. But it was so interesting because I felt that, and completely understandably, when Charles was on here, he seemed a little uncomfortable talking about his early work, and I can completely relate to this. You know, you have to you put something out that is successful. His first short story collection was very successful, and then you move on. You become a better writer. You become a TV writer of some renown. Then you get you become the winner of the National Book Award. Again, these are sort of outside, you know, qualifications or um, reinforcing that what you're doing is worthwhile. Doesn't mean that this makes you feel better about your own work. But still, early work is sometimes cringe, right? I mean, I used to play in a speed metal band, which I'm proud of, but I'm not so proud of some of the lyrics, to be honest. If you want to know what that band is, you can find that out easily. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, Charles Yu has never played in a speed metal band with misogynistic lyrics. I'm sure. But still, like I was confronting him with all these excerpts of his short stories, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I would have written this. I would write this differently now." So, but it was nonetheless really a cool conversation. So, yeah, we're dwelling here quite a bit. Dex, you just sat down. Now you have to get back up because we're gonna go to a different venue. And as you probably gleaned by now, that so we're only doing Island One today. All these things are stacked on top, right? They're basically different levels. What is this? This set was built for Courtje Newland, whose show aired on 10th February 2021. Arieto Kiori, Silas Merlin, and Ruby Geek. There you go. This is very cool. This plaque. Oh man, now I'm getting all kind of sad that this stuff is gonna be gone. I don't know. I'm gonna send Patch Linden an email. If there's anything like for cultural reasons, can you keep this around? I'm gonna plead with him. I understand Linden Lab. There's probably not a lot of traffic here because there's no real events anymore. Um, Linden Lab is a business. There's costs associated with servers. They do sponsor a whole lot of things. Linden Lab, I have to give them credit for that. Arts things and stuff like that. They have sponsored this. It's like I did, in the Made in Second Life, the movie, my 20th anniversary movie, where I visited the venue of a heavy metal club that was dismantled, taken down, destroyed, and a shopping, not a shopping center, a grocery store was put there. So, people get upset when stuff disappears in Second Life, absolutely, understandably so. But this stuff happens in real life too. I'm not excusing it. It's terrible that cultural institutions make way for shopping centers. That's capitalism for you. But let's go to the next venue. Hello, Betty, and hello, Roxy on the stream, and Dex is also on the stream, but Dex is also with me here. Um, let's go to, oh yeah, the space station. The space station was also something that came in early on. So Dex, if you come after me, go to the space station. The space station was also something that we built early on, and it was repurposed many times. Here you can actually get, if you come here before Friday, you can still get a free T-shirt. Second Life Book Club with Dragster. That's a nice thing that will probably last until Linden Lab shuts down. This was a very cool show, African Futurism, with Wole Talabi, Claude Lotsamase, Dilman Dilla, and Tendai Huchu. Dilman was not able to log on. I mean, again, this shows you the limitations of virtual worlds. I don't want to really dwell on it. Everybody knows that you can have the most awesome virtual world or whatever, but if your local internet sucks, you will not be able to participate. This was a fantastic discussion. Afrofuturism. There is a African futurism. I'm sorry. This is really a main big distinction here. And what I put on the table here is actually you can get this African Futurism, an anthology edited by Wole Talabi. Take note, folks. You can get this for free. You can download this at Brittle Paper. Right? Let's see here. Is there no... It's got to be in here in the script. No, this is unfortunately there's no link to it. It's brittlepaper.com, I think. And they have this. You should download it, folks. And these are short stories that are very cool. These are the things. This is, of course, Perry Roden in Japanese. Oh, a fledgling Abiba by Dilmandilla. I think today I have to purchase some Dilmandilla books. Here's some other books by African authors. This is one of the really wonderful things about the book club is that we mixed very well-known authors with often from the Americas, and then for some reason from India. And I know Strawberry Singh from Linen Lab, who streamed this, who helped with the streaming. Well, she was streaming it because it was streamed on the official Second Life YouTube channel. She was asking me, why do you get so many people from India? And I said, I have no idea. It's probably because we had Samit Basu, who also was here. Samit Basu was here, who's very well known. And then maybe other people from India were amenable to also come on the show, right? The word traveled fast because I tell the story every time. I contacted many German authors, and I think only one German author heeded the call. It's very cool. Here's these teleport guides where we have a gallery of all the guests from the first year guests. So follow me here because I just realized there was another venue we built on the space station. It's over here. There you go. So we repurposed that room we were just in, but this one here was exclusively built. Open the door. What the hell? What the hell? This was... Wait a minute. There shouldn't be another Charles Yu. That's wrong. Oh, I know why there is. But this is basically for Alia Whitley. Alia Whitley. Let's see if I have that image. Alia. Oops. Alia. How do you spell it? There it is. Put that here. Alia Whiteley, sorry, with a fantastic novella called Skyward Inn. And this is I had the pre-published advanced review copy that had a different cover. This is a place where we can be alone together. Oh, where we can be alone together, just like Second Life. Boom. But Alia Whitley, we built this, which is basically a kind of a pub, plays a big role in the novel. Ooh, and here's Bernard Malamud, Rembrandt's Hut. Rembrandt's Hut, this is the German version. So this was also repurposed for me just reading short stories. But Alia Whiteley was is a very busy author. And what we put here, this was an interesting thing. These are alternative covers because we talked about cover design, which we often did with the authors, because I find that very interesting. You know, it's maybe not so well known that most authors, even very prominent ones, have very little impact or say on what cover is actually used. This is a very cool cover. And I think with there's a lot at stake. It's just with in the music industry, it's similar. And I think there's probably more agency with smaller authors. This is probably my favorite cover version, right? Alia Whiteley. Whiteley. Oh God, don't kill me. This is nice too. But of course this is the Terry Gilliam-ish version. So yeah, here's another one. Um, Cover design. This almost looks like AI, but it's not AI. I know that for a fact. I mean, she wouldn't have lied to me. Also, the book came out. When did it come out? In 21. Oh, I'm not going to get started on AI and the danger of AI destroying art, destroying everything pretty much. That's a different topic. So, oh, wait a minute. Here's, of course, the teleporter. Let's use this teleporter. So of course, what books are here on the ground, by the way? Ah, yeah. Sometimes I would just throw books around all over the place. Let's go on the moon because the moon is, of course, underneath this space station. And on the moon, we also had a venue, or the moon itself served as a venue for several shows. So I'm going to go on the moon. And this is, of course, the moon is, of course, awesome. I forgot who made this moon. Of course, Sominel Edelmann. Sominel Edelmann with Landscapes Unlimited. Oh my God, of course. Um, this was a program with Pani Paniskas, one of a handful of Second Life authors. I contacted a lot of Second Life authors, and I understand people may be busy or they may not know what I'm doing, but there was very few who responded. And then this is something that always upsets me a little bit when I do a lot of outreach and then I hear people complain that I don't reach out while I'm spending hours and hours to reach out to people. But fine, we had a bunch of Second Life authors who were fantastic. So this is the moon. Get your little wide view uh, with the space station. And Pani Paniskas wrote a book called Learning to Roleplay in Virtual Worlds, a new art form for the 21st century. Isn't that awesome? And the foreword is by me, and I'm very proud of this foreword. Actually, it's just 2 pages, but I don't know. I don't consider myself as a good writer or anything, but I have to say I nailed it with this foreword. Just because of the foreword, you need to buy this book. You can get it everywhere, Amazon. Um, so yeah, that was really interesting. Role play, different types of role play, strategies, tactics, rules. Book club, end of an era. Who is watching on the stream? Betty still here? Roxy? Do you have memories from the book club? I'm just camming out because I'm always interested in camming behind the curtain. Behind the curtain. Um, the Wizard of Oz camming. Um, so yeah, this is all that happened on the moon. And again, we repurposed that too. I forgot who else was here on the moon. So it's always the last. I always leave up the last big poster, basically. Um, let's go to the next location. Oh, the castle. Okay, the castle is also an early location. These are all kind of early locations. Again, we're only doing Book Island 1 today. Then tomorrow we're going to do Book Club 2, Island 2. The castle. Let's go to the castle. The castle was also a early one. This is built by Solus. This is the castle that Solus built. Oh, is this a glitch? What the hell? I don't see I don't see the bridge. Are they already taking stuff down? Crap. Look at this. No, it's not here. Whoa. I mean, I'm known for accidentally deleting things, but I know that I did not delete this bridge. Oh, wait a minute. It's still there. I'm walking up on it. It's just invisible. Okay. So this is very cool. This is, of course, by Zika Ghost. This is Silas Merlin. The design, the landscaping, I love it. I love it. And the castle also served many different shows. It was one of the I would say um, most um, well beloved, most beloved venues. This is Uschi Zietsch. Here's a German author. Well, we had some German authors. Actually, this was done in German. I remember because the real time translation on YouTube was total crap. But so we did this in German, this conversation, and it was very cool. Uschi is a well-known German author for the Perry Rhodan series, for the sci-fi series, for the long-running sci-fi series Perry Rhodan. I'm not going to start on Perry Rhodan, otherwise I will not stop talking about it because Perry Rhodan is the greatest since Star Trek. Actually, Star Trek started later than Perry Rhodan. Perry Rhodan is the father of them all. People people say what's the longest running. You ask people what's the longest running sci-fi series in the world. People go like Doctor Who, Star Trek. No, it's Perry Rhodan. And this little snippet, this little loop video that I have put in here for Ushi appearance is a local antique bookstore with Gustav. This is close to where I live, and I go there frequently, and it's just wonderful. I would live in there if I were to design my own home. This is similar to where Michael Silverblatt, the host of Bookworm, lives in L.A. His house looks like this. Um, I would totally move in there if they'd let me. So this is the castle. Yeah. Wonder if we did something else here. No. Did we do anything over here? Oh, I'm hugging myself. Yeah, well, Dex Dex is lost. Dex, I'm over here hugging myself. So this is the castle. Um, this would have been a nice place for people to gather and do their own book discussions. That's what I always encourage. You know, I wish I had more time. I could have done this daily, but I just don't have the time, and I don't know if people organize things by themselves. I don't think they did. I don't blame anybody. I'm not saying, come on, people. I don't always have to entertain people, blah blah blah. But that's one of the sadder things that I feel this beyond these book conversations. I mean, the author visits that this project didn't really gain a lot of traction. But that's fine. I mean, I'm not in this game Oh, Second Life is not a game. I'm not in this game for popularity or for growth or for scaling things. You know, this is the same like real life. There might be a reading group that has like 5 people, but it can be extremely gratifying to meet with these 5 people every week. That's totally fine with me. Matter of fact, I hope that Dex is going to be one of the 5 people for the reread of Infinite Jest, where I'm also going to read along with everybody starting in February 2026. That's the 30th publication date. Okay, wait. The prompt has disappeared. Let's go to the next. I'm gonna go here quickly. Synthwave. Synthwave. This this was built by a guy who I met in Sansar. Extremely talented builder, and he just built this synthwave thing, Skybox. I was like, hey, can we use this um, for my show? And he's like, sure. So this also appeared several times, but the last time around, it was with Joanne McNeill. This is another book. I know. I'm like, oh, Dragster, you say every book is the greatest book ever. Every book you encounter is the greatest book. Well, this book, Wrong Way, is a fairly short novel about AI. And if you want to, learn about AI and you should, of course, follow the current discussion. You should probably read Empire of AI by Karen Howe. You should read The Eye of the Master, which deals with labor and the colonizing issue of AI. You should watch Modern Times by Charlie Chaplin, etc. But you should also read this novel by Joanne McNeill called Wrong Way, which is brilliant. And I'm not going to spoil it, although the New York Times did a review and they totally spoiled it. Wrong Way is about a self-driving car company in the future, in the near future. And this is a huge company, kind of like X. And the guy at the helm is kind of an Elon Musk type figure. And this company makes self-driving cars, and these self-driving cars are hugely popular, and they're just amazing. They drive long distance, they have batteries that last forever, and it just totally works. They never get into an accident. They have different types of cars. They have like cabs with like where 5 people can be in there. They can sit around like a limo type situation. And then, and I'm not gonna spoil it, the truth is in the pudding because there's a little hidden secret with these self-driving cars. Why do they work so well? I'm gonna ask this to Dex. Can you figure out what the conceit is here? Why do these self-driving cars work so well in this novel? What do they rely on? Hmm. What is not disclosed to the general public or investors? Hmm. Okay, I think people get it. Dex is Googling the New York Times review where they get, ooh, Dex, god damn it. I gotta cut this out. Yes, indeed. Hidden human drivers. Now, I gave away this thing, and you go like, okay, then now I don't have to read this novel. You don't have to do anything, but you should read it because it's really, really well integrated, and it's really about labor exploitation, right? Every technology that serves a certain people, in this case, us in the global north, is dependent on exploitation in capitalism is dependent on exploitation of other people, mostly in the global south. In this particular novel, the exploited people come also from the global north. They're just lower class, and they make this happen. And it's obviously not disclosed to the investors. The way Joanne McNeill puts it in this novel is so brilliant. How these human drivers are basically making sure that this stuff is working. Well, Knight Rider. Well, okay. Knight Rider. Oh my God. This was actually one of the Knight Rider theme song. One of the first things my son was able to play on violin. No, it's not true. It was not one of the first ones. It was he was already playing for a couple of years maybe, but he was very good uh, a violin player, and he was able to play it by ear. I think I have a recording of it. I love Knight Rider. But going back to this novel, what is brilliant about it is depicting the type of bullshitting that's going on in this sector. I just recently read a report on um, people in that face. I think it was about Facebook Meta, or maybe it was about another company. I mean, they all do it. There are tens of thousands of people hired, mainly in African countries or countries in the global south, where they basically have to do, um, they train the AI by sorting through images and sorting through very disturbing images and text and troll and, with sexual and violent content, where people that work in these fields 10, 12 hours a day clicking through stuff that is super disturbing. I mean, they have post traumatic stress disorder. And the only reason why people have to do these types of jobs is not because uh, people post nasty shit and somebody has to do it. No, of course it's a reality that people post nasty shit, but the reason why these jobs exist and why these people are so exploited is because these companies want to grow so fast. If these companies don't are not as obsessed with scaling up this fast, then the job of sort of human content moderator that makes sure that no shit appears in people's feeds wouldn't have to be so paid so little or had to be exploited so ruthlessly. It's all about the growth obsession with these companies, and that benefits nobody. Self-driving cars nowadays are being driven by humans remotely. Exactly, Dex. Exactly. You're right. And Joanne does something different here, something brilliant. And this I will not give away. Uh, how humans are involved with the fictitious company that is depicted here in this book. Okay, very cool. Ah, now I'm getting sadder and sadder and sadder, having to say goodbye to all this stuff. But we will always have this video record. We can show it to our kids and our grandkids. This was Second Life, where real people were running around, not AI buddies. Or maybe Dex is an AI. Who knows? I don't know. um, so let's see here. Body Scout. Identity. Identity. Let's go there real quick. Identity. This also, again, kind of a skybox. And a bunch of Indian authors here. Originally, this was built for. Oh, kill me now. I don't remember her name. God damn it. I should have prepared this. Ah, it'll come to me maybe. She's wonderful. She wrote 3 novels and illustrated children's books, and these illustrations are actually from her children's books. You know what? Let's see what happens. Maybe. No, just says boy number 2. Shit. Okay. I'll put this in the YouTube description. God damn it. Look at these illustrations. Really awesome. And Ruby made this, and she put it on these prims like it's cut out from wood. I've never seen anybody do this. I think I don't know if Ruby came up with this, but really love it. I love it. So yeah. Um, the last show we had three, four shows. Oh, wait a minute. Here's the plaque. Oh my God. Thank you, Arieto Fiori, who put these plaques here. Shara, Sharanya Manivanan. Oh my God. This set was built for Sharanya Manivanan. That's her name. That's her name. Fantastic novels, fantastic illustrated children's books. And the last show we did here was with Mitu Sanyal, who is German. Her mother was from India. Her father was from India. Mother's from Poland. Poland. Never heard of this country, Dex. Have you heard of it? Um, Mitu Sanyal, born in Germany, writing in German, a book called Identity, which was a huge hit, translated into English. Absolutely hilarious about a professor who who's making up her identity. And you may remember a case in the U.S. with the woman Rachel Dolezal, who claimed she was African American, but turned out she was white. And she was destroyed. A shitstorm ensued that has never really ended. But there was much more to the Rachel Dolezal story, and some of the stuff is still coming out. Um, and Mito Sanyal wrote basically a satirical novel on identity politics. Let me see if I have a bunch of slides here. Let's throw this up. Oh, here, Mito Sanyal slides. Because what we used to do, of course, is I put out excerpts from the text. So Sarasvati is the character in the book who is a professor, and she claims to be Indian, but then it turns out she's white. And this is an excerpt from the book, and she is very sort of confrontational in her lectures. Here, I'm going to read this. With a perfectly choreographed twirl, Saraswati scrutinized the student ranks now before her. Okay, let's start. All whites out. Silence reigned as everyone wondered if they'd heard right. Come on, let's go. We haven't got all day. This seminar is for students of color only. It was as if tectonic plates were shifting. Mountains rose where before there had only been empty plains. Something broke off the continent known as Nivedita, drifting out into an ocean of possibilities. Nivedita is the student who loves Saraswati, who realizes there is a place for her in university because with this kind of radical politics of rejecting white supremacy. And then, of course, turns out Saraswati is actually white. Um, a fantastic novel. What else am I going to say? Hold on, let's see. In Islam, there's a marketplace in paradise, Saraswati continued, where you can pick up and choose the form you want to take that day. And well, for now, I choose this one. I forgot the context of this excerpt. Okay, it makes no sense to just throw in excerpts when I don't know the context. This is a pretty good quote that is, I think, applicable to all sorts of different situations. And again, in the show, Shyla prepared all these slides. I would read the book and then have a list of little excerpts and other questions, slides, and images, and she would prepare them, and then we would confront the author with this, and the author would contextualize it. The problem with memory is that it doesn't really work the way we're taught that it does. It's not a bunch of select islands floating upon a vast sea of forgetting. Instead, there's always more than one version of the same story. When I think back on my life, I recall moments when I open up the storage boxes of my memory and the cat inside of them is simultaneously both alive and dead. Sorry, folks, that's good writing. Dex said something earlier about where Poland is. Well, how does he know all these things about Poland? Poland was also a country that my country invaded at one point. Um, that's how I remember where countries are. Just like Americans, it's American geography. That's actually a very popular bumper sticker that I saw many times in the U.S. is like how to teach Americans geography, invade a country. Not wrong. Um, oops, let's see here. Oh, I can't get on this teleporting thing. What's happening? Let's do a couple more. Oh, the theater. We got to go to the theater. Okay, let's go to the theater. We can't do everything today. I knew was going to happen. We got the floating galleries, but the floating galleries are well covered. Analog is good. Jules Rivera. Let's go to Jules Rivera and then the theater. Jules Rivera first because Jules is really an amazing illustrator. So this is basically this very basic design here. A gallery basically. This was with Jules Rivera from San Diego, and she's just fantastic. I don't know what happened to her. She kind of disappeared. She did a web comic called Love Jules. You can buy the you can you used I was actually looked at her website. She's not selling those anymore. This is the collection, but you can get it on her website. Very, very funny cartoons. Manic Pixie, Nightmare Girl. There's 3 of them. And Jules Rivera, I don't know if she still does it, is doing the Mark Trail comics, and the Mark Trail comics is it's been around forever, and she took it over. And here on the wall is a few of her Charles Trail comic strips. The scarlet king snake is harmless, but it can be mistaken for a coral snake, a venomous species that can live in the same habitat. If you see one of these guys in the wild and you're not sure if you're in good company or good danger, just remember, red meets yellow, you're a dead fellow. Red meets black, you're okay, Jack. Mark! Cherry! Sorry, Mark. The snake wasn't having it. Plunk! Red meets black, you're okay, Jack? What is this, the 1940s? Who talks like that anymore? Mark, this isn't you. A nature video is not supposed to feel so unnatural. So this is Jules Rivera re-envisioning this comic that started in the 40s, and very good gig. I don't know if she has that gig anymore, but it's she did a great job. And this is her own stuff. Um, the Love Jules. This is her. Let's pick this Love Jules. This is one of her Love Jules strips. If you're a geek guy, you were probably brought up on the idea of the beautiful redhead. She's your ideal. Jessica Rabbit, Black Widow, Mary Jane Watson. No hate to my Peora sisters, you're doing great. But I'm a woman who can't be a redhead. I'm too brown. My tan skin also means I don't even look good with red hair. Well, 'cause I'll go die alone. Guess I'll go die alone. I can never be the ideal. The green hair was a one of my stylist, Stephanie, tried on for me for San Diego, but I loved it. I had become something even more interesting, a woman with dark skin and green hair, like an inverse redhead. So I leaned into it and kept my hair green. I will never be beautiful to the geek men who want the ideal, but that's okay. Sorry, but I prefer red-haired girls. You sound boring. Go be boring over there. I'd rather be interesting. So, love, I love Jules. Let's see if there's one more. And again, you can find these on her website, these web comics from the Love Jules series. And if she still sells it, you should really buy the physical version. Crystal Weirdos. So I think this is her roommate, Blackbird. Blackbird, have you been drinking the Los Angeles Kool-Aid again? A little. Why do you ask? I think you might have turned into a crystal weirdo. So he's reading a book, Healing. Crystal weirdo? That sounds a little judgy. No, it's normal. LA transplants always go one of two ways. Either they become superficial, insecure morons, or they become crystal weirdos getting into crystals, oracle reading, and other alternative spiritual stuff. That is so true. Are the crystals too much? Nah, it's fine. I'd rather see you get into crystals than cocaine or sugar babies. I know it looks like a lot, but I need the crystal's protection. Mercury is in retrograde. Holy shit, why didn't you tell me Mercury's in retrograde? Blackbird, I left my guardian crystal satchel at home. Oh, I got an extra pyramid you can borrow. I'll take it. Isn't this good? Come on. Is this not good? Matteo Finchfield. Hello, Matteo Finchfield. Um, oh, here's another one with Blackbird. Blackbird, have you? Oh no, this is the one I was scamming in. Um, Somebody on the stream, Francisco, Slurl, please. The Slurl is well known and it's up till Friday, as I have indicated. That's why we're doing this. Francisco, you can find it. I'm sure. I'm sure it's still on the destination guide. Hello, Matteo Finchfield. Did he bring his crystals? No, he just brought his coloring book. That's good too. Unicorns and stuff. Here is actually where Love Jules meets Mark Trail and oh yeah, in closing for Jules, this is a project. Where is the cover? There's a cover. 200. Very cool. I think I have it. I forgot if I bought it. I don't know what I have anymore. Let's go to the last one for today, and then tomorrow we'll do island number 2. We're gonna do 10 p.m. so it's not too late for the Second Life time. The theater. Let's go to the theater. Let's see. I have to do this on midnight. Oh my God, there's so much stuff. Oh wait, this is on the other island. So the theater, and there's some overlap stuff here with skyboxes, which I cannot figure out. So some of these skyboxes bleed into each other. This should be all black. So here is where people landed, and then they had to go here. The Second Life Book Club today's show, Simon Stevenson. Simon Stevenson is a Scottish author who is fantastic, and he wrote a book called Set My Heart to 5 about a robot who is a robot dentist, but he wants to be a screenwriter, so he goes to Hollywood and he wants to write a screenplay about robots who are not killer robots because he's really disturbed by the cliche that Hollywood puts out. So that was his debut novel, and he was on the show for that. This book is fantastic, and he actually sold the rights for a movie for this book to I don't know the director. The guy who directed Shaun of the Dead. Somebody tell me. Hello? So Simon came back a second time for a new book. Stuff missing here. There's a lot of stuff missing. All these posters are missing. There were movie posters here. Is Lab already taken this stuff down? Ah, yeah. So Simon came back and with a thriller, with a medical thriller. Sometimes people die. Very good stuff. Fast read, suspense. And Simon used to be actually a doctor. So this is a medical thriller about patients in a hospital dying. And here is the book I mentioned, his debut novel, Set My Heart to Five. Really good, about this robot who wants to change the perceptions that people have about robots. Oh, look, I forgot about this. Set in a 2054 where humans have locked themselves out of the internet and Elon Musk has incinerated the moon. I forgot about that setup. Um, Simon also wrote a memoir about the death of his brother in the tsunami in Thailand, 2004. Let Not the Waves of the Sea. So this is Simon Stevenson, and we did this here in the theater. And again, when he was here for the first time with the robot novel, Nostalgic Corner, we built a nostalgic corner up here. Slollywood, the Slollywood Nostalgic Corner about robots, because it's all about robots. And people who are watching this on the stream, nobody knows the name of the director who directed Shaun of the Dead. God, lame, lamer than I am. So this is the Museum of Robots, but also other robots, an automated tea kettle. When you read the book, you will understand what this is all about. We built this, from Second Life items. This is the Second Life aspect of this. You buy a little doll with arms, and you buy a telephone, and you put the arms through the telephone. Here's um, a microwave. TV, a toaster. So these are all items that in this future scenario have AI component in it, and so the main character feels related to them. What is this here? Oh, a found poem from Set My Heart to Five. Ha, bought humans. I cannot set my heart to five. You know why? No, you don't. E whatever a tea garden says it does. Amber Avenue, my square root of 100. Professor Diana Fang, mother. The Elton J. Reinerson Memorial Cat Socks. Feelings, wheel. Keywords, I digress. That's hilarious. By the way, Jared Drive. Ha. Is this from the book or Shyla wrote this? No, Shyla wrote this. The Fibonacci poem. God, did so much cool shit. This is amazing. And it's all gonna be gone. I have to write the patch. Oh, this is funny. This is the book too. 10 Golden Rules of Screenwriting. Thus brilliant, these archaic rules. Can't read this, from Joe Esterhaz. Don't see too many new movies. Don't mince words. This is very funny. Always lie about your first draft. In the company of the director, don't bend over. No matter how charming he is, the director's not your friend. He's your enemy. Yeah. Ah, yeah. No. What time is it? We'll do one more. Edgar Wright. No, thank you, Edgar Wright. So Edgar Wright, this was amazing because Simon Stevenson wrote this novel, Set My Heart to Five, and 5 minutes later it was sold to Edgar Wright. And I don't know, this movie may not ever be made. We had, of course, the great Joe Haldeman on. Greetings from Big Sur. This is related to the novel. Don LaSalle is the big Hollywood producer. Um, Joe Haldeman. Who is Joe Haldeman? Joe Haldeman is a famous sci-fi author, and he wrote, of course, The Forever War, which came out in 1974. And he had sold the movie rights a year before the book was published when the draft was sent around. So he sold it in 1973. Joe Haldeman was on the show as well, and he told us, well, he didn't have to tell us because we know that the Forever War, the movie, is not made yet. It's still not made. Um, so, but who cares? Because we have the book, and the book is good. Yesterday I was at Strange Labor. I love Strange Labor. Yesterday when I tested the stream, the mermaid pool is cool, but it's on the ground level. Ninka, what is Nika? Oh, Nika. Wait a minute, Nika. Let's go to Nika real quick. Let's do a couple more real quick. Nika, oh my God, this is so cool. This is a Second Life author. If you get inspired to get a book today, get this one here by E.P. Isaacs. E.P. Isaacs is a author from Second Life, and the Nika is the robot. Let's see, what's the name of the novel? Gotta be a cover somewhere. She also does the illustrations. This is really cool. This is one of the most talented SL authors that I ever met. Here we go. It's called The Clockworks Orange. The Clockworks Orange. Tales of the Robot Nika. This is volume 2. The Clockworks Orange. I have to reread this. This is so good. And the first one is, Do Clockworks Dream of Gear-Toothed Sheep? So much talent. So you can get this. This is also on Amazon on the big ones. This is self-published, but you can get it on the big ones. There's volume 1, Do Clockworks Dream of Gear-Toothed Sheep, and volume 2, uh, The Clockworks Orange. Sorry, really good titles, right? Come on, come on. What is this here? How I did it? Huh? I know. I forget. So these illustrations are in the book, also by E.P. Isaacs. I love these illustrations. This is ostensibly for children, these books. But as people know, I love to read children's books. I love to read young adult. And I find the arrogance that is out there, you encountered somewhere, against the disdain that some people, writers, have towards children's books and young adult is nauseating, this arrogance, because it's really not easy to write a good children's book. It's not easy to write a good young adult novel that is really resonating, that is really uh, taking seriously the lived reality of young people. I mean, come on. This is very widespread, where people say, "Oh yeah, people who write children's books and young adult, these are people who can't write." What the f? Get out of here. Of course, Deck's always sitting down. I don't know why. Deck's always sitting down. Well, it's cozy. Very cozy here. The poetry slam corner. The poetry slam corner that is not going to be here anymore. come Friday, unless my petition to Patch Linden goes successfully. Hey, everybody's watching this. Write an email to patch@lindenlab.com. Patch@lindenlab.com. This is impromptu. I did not plan this. Go write an email and say, with all due respect, Patch, don't you hit the delete button. No. Look how these two galleries. This is Jules Rivera is on the bottom, right? Go in here. Oh yeah, and we're on top here. This is the other one. This is just a duplicate. Yeah, I love it. Here, Nika sends these postcards. Postage. All I wanted this week was to march forth and conquer and to help my friends. Ah! But I was stopped by the Amazons from selling my book again and again, and all my friends want to do is fight, and I can't stop them. Meh. Fee to this. When will girls learn if we want to conquer all the things we have to stop fighting each other? Bah! The sheep is her friend, and the sheep is called Postage, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember plot details. So that's it, folks. Tomorrow, we're going to meet here at 10 p.m. Okay, let's do 10 p.m. Second Life time. It's going to be hard for the Euros. Have to get up early. And we're going to do island number 2. Okay? Yes, everybody with the program. Maybe Dex can make it. Dex probably prefers midnight. We didn't go to all the places, but there's a few left. Strange Labor is really cool. Oh, for God's sakes. The pub, what is the pub? God damn it. Okay, now I gotta go through the other ones. Oh, the pub. Okay. You know what? I can do a few more minutes and I'm late to my other thing, my real life thing. The pub is amazing. Anne Griffin, best-selling author from Ireland. All her books are just good. God damn it. Here, Listening Still. Was that canceled? There was some conflict with scheduling. This is her debut novel, When All Is Said. Oh my God, so good. Okay, let's do a quick walkthrough of the remaining places here on Island 1. Come on. So this is the pub. I love the pub. And there's something around the corner from the pub. I think it's called Irish India. We're not gonna walk there. We're gonna teleport. Here we go. Irish India. This was with Kovri Matavan. She's from India, but she lives in Ireland. She wrote a book called The Tainted. I love it. This is something completely different. This is also good, but this was for Kovri Matavan, and we did sort of a like. See, this is why we run out of prims. This is just decoration in the background while we were sitting here discussing books. But it was a theme. Thematically, it worked with the novel. I should change this and put. Do I still have the main image of Kovri Matavan? There you go. That's her, and that's her avatar. She always wanted to be a farmer, I guess. Hilarious. This book is, of course, not her book. This is Roberto Arlt, The Seven Madmen. Okay. I think there's 2 more places. 2 more places. This, by the way, this would go back to the pub. This is how lazy we are. We teleported from the pub over here. So there's a nice walkway. Strange Labor. Let's go to Strange Labor. Strange Labor is a novel by Robert G. Penner, who came in world as a chicken made by Silas Merlin. And this place is very cool. Here is an entire short story on the wall. And we are trapped by this labyrinth. Look at this. This was, I forgot who built this. Who built this? Oh, Ruby. Amelia is Ruby's new name. But Ruby built this, and this was not easy to build, these textures on it. And then see behind is actually the sim surround, the urban sim surround. Um, but we're trapped inside of it. Yeah. So Robert G. Penner writes under the pseudonym. So Strange Labor is very, very good. You can see here on the cover, we took these labyrinths from the cover and surrounded this place. But outside of the labyrinth is then still the sim surround. So this is really cool design. Robert G. Penner writes under the pseudonym of William Squirrel. And so I also recommend this one, Let the Bastards Burn. This is so good. This is like he was so pissed off when Trump first got elected 2016, and he wrote this, and it's really cool. It's absurd, satire, angry satire. Very related to the Illuminati's trilogy, by the way. So that was that Strange Labor. And I think that's it. There's, of course, the floating galleries, but the Body Scout, Lincoln Michel, Body Scout was very cool. Cool novel. He has a new one out. I forgot what it is. Sci-fi. This is sci-fi about cloning. Baseball players are cloned for big corporations. Body parts are just taken, assembled. Yep. What is this here? Ooh, Monsanto. The Monsanto Mets. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. Monsanto has bought the Mets. Second beer. Yeah. And the audience was sitting outside here, and we were sitting here, Lincoln, Michelle, and I. Yeah, getting very nostalgic. Let's end with the gallery. Let's end where the gallery is. Um, we we we. Well, I. Okay, wait. God damn it! I said 1 hour. I gotta do stuff, but I can't stop because it's just too good. This is Club Analog for Elliot Pepper, a floating club of his. It's a trilogy, his novels, and they deal with people who are rejecting the internet as something that is bad for you. Spoiler alert, it's true. Uh, the digital world, and they go to Club Analog. Not only the internet, but digital colonizing of the mind. So they go to Club Analog, which is a very exclusive club. And believe you me, I'm completely convinced that this is what's happening in elite circles. This is not new. It's not a news flash. Bill Gates one time gave an interview where he was sort of selling his school reform thing where everybody learns on a tablet. And then the reporter was an NPR reporter years ago said, well, why are your kids in a school that only teaches, doesn't have an internet connection? And Bill Gates said, well, my kids are different. They wouldn't thrive. They have to thrive or something. I mean, this is the kind of arrogance selling this stuff to everybody else. So this is Elliot Pepper's trilogy, Borderless, Bandwidth, and Breach. I enjoyed that very much. I'm a little disturbed by the fact that Elliot Pepper is now working with an AI company who makes AI companions, which I find very problematic because AI companions are also a way for the exploitative structure to not really deal with loneliness and alienation, but to kind of taper over it. It's really, really problematic. AI therapy and things like that, chatbots. Um, that's not gonna solve the problem of alienation in the capitalist world. It's gonna make it worse. Anyway, but that's just me being overly alarmist about the end of the world. Where's the floating gallery? Am I crazy? We're gonna end with floating. Floating. Here we go. Floating is, of course, the gigantic. Oh, this shouldn't be here. This was a set for something else. This is the oh, oh my God. Dex is falling down. I caught him on camera. Dex made it. He's flying up. Dex, did I push you off the ledge? I was too close to the edge. We caught you. So this was our attempt. I wanted to do this all the way through, but then we stopped um, putting out gallery items for each show. I don't know when we stopped. But again, it was, we were building sets. But this is show number one. Okay, we stopped with Simon Stevenson. This is show number one. CB Lee, SL Huang, Ken Liu, Matt Ruff. This is the show number one. April 8th. April 8th. What did I say? April 4th. April 8th. SL Huang were coming next. And we still did these big shows with like 4 guests. Antoine Wilson. Oh my God. So many good people. And then we go on, Kelly Robson, Anne Vandermeer, and the Setnik. Kit Kalas, this is why does literary fiction thrive in a world where nobody reads? Ooh, provocative question. Writing books for children from preschool to YA with Little Miss History here. Barbara Ann Mojica. She's Little Miss History. L.L. McKinney, best-selling author. Here's Samit Basu. This is where it all started with Samit Basu. And then all the Indian authors came in. Matt Ruff, Peter Watts. Oh boy. Australian writers. Paul McGauley meets Christopher Brown. Paul McGauley, famous. Well, they're all so famous. Premi Mohammed. Why am I going on about being Tad Williams, he is famous. Fran Wilde. Daniel Krauss. Daniel Krauss wrote a novel with George Romero after George Romero passed with the help of the estate. Sarah Littman. Larry Niven. Larry freaking Niven. Oh my God, he was in here. And that's when Philip Rosedale came in at the tail end, and Philip was asking a question. Say, hey Larry, I have a question, and then Larry didn't see him, the avatar, because his view was somewhere else. I don't know where his view was, but he wasn't in mouse look. And so Philip was starting to say something, and then Larry was like, I hear a voice, a different voice. But I don't see that person. And then I was like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And then I don't remember if I did it or somebody else. They took Larry's sofa and put it in front of Philip's sofa, so he was basically right in front of him, staring at him. And then, oh, there he is. Fred Nadis wrote a book called Space Settlers, I think, about the obsession with going to Mars by certain crazy people. Kat Sparks, James Bradley, Will Wiles, one of my favorite, the British authors. Margie Preuss, young adult stuff, fantastic. You find all this on the playlist. So there's a full playlist. I'm going to link it here too in the chat, just a bit. Hello, New One Wind. Hello, Francisco. I'm looking at the chat. We're going to go through this here. Joe Haldeman, aforementioned Joe Haldeman, The Forever War, very important sci-fi classic. Catherine Duckett, Dana Porter, Cory Doctorow, of course, who practically lived. I don't know if he lived in Second Life. Charles Yu mentioned him. Molly Flatt. Somebody still hates me because I recommended Molly Flatt's debut novel, which I still like, but she said I hated that novel. Well, tastes are different. Jules Rivera, Patricia Murphy, oh, Yutanjaya Vijayaratne, and Indra Pramit Das. That was very cool because Indra Pramit had this dragon avatar. Anne Griffin in the pub, of course, because she's Irish. They drink. Jonathan Lethem. This is when I met Jonathan Lethem, and Jonathan is my favorite. And his yellow duck avatar made it on the cover of PC Gamer. And Jonathan Lethem, who is very well known, said I emailed him. They wrote an article about the book club during COVID, or maybe the article was generally speaking about Second Life, and the book club was just part of it. But the cover of this article was Jonathan Lethem's yellow duck, and I said, "Hey, you're on the cover of PC Gamer magazine, well, the website." And he was like, "Oh my God, my kids now finally will know how famous I am." The stream is kind of dark. I don't know. It's good. Jeffrey Ford, Anna Vaught. She came as a dessert avatar. That was the most brilliant avatar. It's a walking dessert. Nick Mamatas, Samit Basu. Here we go again. Heidi James, Julie Novakova. Sharanya Manivanan. And she was a little dinky. Beautiful dinky. Korcha Newland. A River Called Time. One of my favorite novels. Elliot Pepper. Parliament House. Independent book publisher. Great stuff. Writing as a Second Lifer. Look at that. That was a Second Lifer. Jessica, Anna, and R.A. Jacques and Laurie Alden Holuta. Am I hallucinating? Kofi Madavanan, Simon Stevenson, and that's it. And then there's, of course, Floating Island number 2. Let's go over there. How do we get there? Where's Dex Euromat? He gone? He probably went to bed so that tomorrow he's fresh when we do Island number 2. I'm violating all the stuff that I say. I have an appointment with my dad. I have to help out, but let's go floating number 2. This is when we continued, and then we stopped because we were getting behind, and we still had to, make all these islands. But the gallery continues here with Cory Doctorow, David Dayan. This was when we started to doing nonfiction and political stuff. Simon Hahn. I forgot the title of his book. It's very good. God damn it. Lauren Bucas. Rhymes with mucus. That's what she said. Tracy Sorensen. Love her work. Tracy Sorensen. Seek her out. The Lucky Gala. And Philip in the house for the Second Life birthday special. Oh yeah, this was Ognichove, Donald Deprecki, and Zelda Knight. What's the name of the book? Africa Risen anthology. They did a bunch of anthologies. Avais Khan, A.A. Chaudhry. Everybody really good. And here's E.P. Isaacs, again, Second Life writer. Seek out her works, fantastic. Fernando Strigotti, fantastic Avatar. Avatar is an homage to whom? Hello? Hello? To Chris Marker, of course. Chris Marker. Oh, Dex is saying he's reading Hamlet at 9 p.m. Oh, Dex sent me an email. I sent you an email earlier. That would be cool. Robert Penner, we had him. Sam Miller. Nino Kipri, fantastic. About an IKEA who has an evil IKEA that replicates. AC Wise. This is Jonathan Lethem again with the Yellow Duck. Wayne Santos. Wayne Santos is a sci-fi writer, and he had an avatar from 2004, I think. I forgot his avatar's name, but he was like he signed on like early on, and then he didn't do anything, and so that was sometimes funny. I met authors like, hey, do you want to do this thing in Second Life? Do you need an avatar? Oh, I have one from 2003. Lars Iyer, Roseanne Brown. Yep. Did we stop there? I think we did. Okay, folks, that's it. I'm gonna send an email to Patch Linden, but I don't get your hopes up. I think I think the archipelago is a goner, but you shouldn't stop reading. And if you haven't started, you should start. That's an advice from your doctor, Dr. Exter. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. You know what? Let's do midnight again, huh? Should we do midnight SLT? Yes or no for island number 2? If I get 3 yeses on the chat right now, Dex in the background is saying Infinite Jest, read it. Yes, of course. You should actually, forget what I just said. Just read Infinite Jest. No, tomorrow, island number 2 at midnight SLT. Yes, no. Stick with midnight. Now I'm gonna register the stream, set it up. Yes, no, nobody's saying anything. Well, I'll say goodbye. And we have this record. And we have a full playlist. So I'll see you tomorrow at midnight SLT for island number 2. Good night.
We're all thrown into it, one way or the other. We all try to steer it as straight as we can. Sometimes we collide with each other. Who is to blame and who's gonna fix the boat? Life, oh life, there's nothing to fear from your life. Let me know if I can be of any help. Life, you and I, let's try a fresh start today. What do you say? Let's close the door on the past. So we swim, and it is in so many ways just a little trick to keep our heads above water. But now I'm not afraid anymore.